corner, we are back with a little bit more Fathom, just so we can get a full hour in. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. And it was convenient to let you continue thinking it. Thank you by the way, for saving us the trouble of taking Killian down. Self-important idiot that he was, he still would have tied up valuable resources. Oh yes, we know all about Killian. Surprise? No, Taurus, playing both sides. It hurts, doesn't it? Trying to turn to water with all that poison in your veins? Kill. No, unfortunately, the poison won't kill you. I designed it to counteract your natural abilities is all, make you docile, and to hurt. We're done here. On to the female. Central Park West. How you feeling? Like someone who's switching to snowboarding from now on. But it's much better now to be back breathing the fresh Manhattan smog. I feel like I need a vacation from our vacation. Tell me about it. I don't want to broach the subject with Tyler for obvious reasons, but I'm honestly glad to be out of the water with my feet on solid ground for a while, and out of danger. Sorry, Aspen, I was hoping we'd make your first night in New York a little more exciting than this. Later. Oh, excuse me. No worries, believe me, the last thing I need is any more excitement. Later. You know, this show's kind of funny, but come on, how can these lazy slobs without any visible means of support live in a $1 million apartment? It's called suspension of disbelief, Aspen. Give it a try. Maybe. I'm gonna go grab some air. You okay? Yeah, I'm good. Just need to clear my head a bit. I love Tyler like a sister, but now I can't let my guard down around anyone, even her. The vacation momentarily took my mind off all the madness, but now that I'm back in reality, I can't help but think about everything under the surface. Everyone under the surface. All the new arrivals in my life. I wonder how they're doing. Cannon, you never disappoint me. This is exactly the expression I wanted to see on your face. Now if I'm you, and in this admittedly one-sided conversation I basically am you, I'm wondering why I'm here instead of dead. Cannon, I've brought you here for a very small, very ancient reason. Make sure there's nothing there. To which you say, Vanna, I couldn't possibly. You're very attractive, but we have absolutely nothing in common. Cannon, set aside your base instincts. I didn't bring you here to breed. I brought you here to exact my revenge. I put you in that tank, which, by the way, is slowly leaching your essence away. Your hand fades because the process has begun. When it's complete, you'll remember who you were, yet you'll never retain yourself. You'll never communicate, never love, never feel, never truly be. In short, you'll inhabit the worst hell I could possibly imagine. I've got another tank waiting for your little female assistant. I built them specifically to get even with you for what you did to my son, Taurus. There we go. Could just hit the L button, though. Or the L key, rather. New York. Even though I've been keeping Tyler at a distance, I gotta hand it to her. What's the scene like inside? It's going off, man. She didn't hesitate to share her discovery of Cannon's boat mysteriously appearing along the New York City harbor with me. But the only things around here are the nightclubs and bars. From what I've seen, Cannon's not the type to spend his free time hitting the dance floor. Weird, his boat's just docked without being tethered. Something doesn't add up. Crack! Thwack! Oh, cool. Just water, huh? It's all good, man. There's a tip in it for you. Ah! What? What's with her? Too much to drink? She came through the window, you moron. Are you okay? Damn, hope that chick's alright. Looks pretty fine to me. Ugh, they don't usually do things so publicly. Gotta get moving before... Oh no. Too late. Oh shit. Well, Cannon, any last words? Oh, that's right. You can't talk. The great Cannon Hawk reduced to nothing. So that Terrace, poor Terrace, my son, might be returned to some manner of completeness. I've slowly been pulling your molecules apart, using your energy to resuscitate Taurus, but it's vitally important that you know this. You alone won't be enough to bring him back for that. I'll be using your little female accomplice. She won't survive, I'm afraid. But you will, in a manner of speaking. You'll retain a faint awareness of who you once were. trapped within Taurus like a ghost in the pathways of his mind. And once your female has been destroyed and the process is complete, you'll have no hope of ever again being who you were. Despair, Canon, is all you have left. A long life of despair. May it crush your soul for what you did to my son. Since you have nothing to say... Yes! Yes! No! No, what's happened here? This is an abomination! I've made a horrible mistake. Oh, Taurus, my dear son, I've lost you forever. Ugh, my head. Ugh, why am I not surprised at this point? I really have to learn to mind my own business from now on, for my sake. At least I know who my captors are. They're similar to the others in some ways, but also more primal. Their faces so different, so cold. Their attack was quick and calculated. It caught me completely off guard. I was barely able to put up a fight. They certainly knew all about me. That much was clear. I've been told before that I don't really blend into a crowd very well, but still, I put all those innocent people's lives in danger. And then ending up here, in the middle of all this again. I wonder what they want from me. The next thing I do know... Excuse me, try that one again. The one thing I do know, next time I see those guys, it's going to be a different story, that's for sure. But first, I need to get out of this thing. And check myself out of this winter wonderland. Vanna, the prisoner is incapacitated. Excellent. Fetch the female and bring her to me. But if she uses her powers, she will not. Her feelings are too strong to put poor Canon's life in jeopardy. Besides, you can use unnecessary force if you so choose. Just make sure she's alive when she gets here, or it will be your heads. It's time to finish this. You hear me, Hawk? Your obscene run of luck has come to an end. Man, this machine is blocking most of my powers. But if I condense the water enough, maybe. A nice contraption. But not enough to hold me. Their first mistake. And if I find out they've hurt Canon, it'll be the last mistake they ever make. Now to figure out just where the hell I am. If Taurus had survived inside you, Canon, I'd have a reason to let you live. Though you're so ugly, I don't know that I could actually go through with it. But he didn't, and I don't. This is the end. Any last moans or gibberish before I put you out of your misery? I walked before I crawled. What? Only? Taurus? Scope's negative. She must have come out the other side of the mountain. Or she's too deep in the ice for the scopes to see her. The eyes are still best. We'll take the next pass low and slow. Do it the old-fashioned way. The escape was the easy part. But I've been out here for an hour with no signs of... Cannon's boat! Finally, things are starting to look my way. Come on, Cannon, tell me you... Bingo! Time to heat things up around here. What would they want Cannon for in a place like this anyway? Couldn't be his charming personality. I'm not really good at this spy business. Damn! Fortunately, I am good at destroying things. Electrical failure! Yeah! Whoa, that was close. Let's give this a try. Gross, but effective. Hang on, Taurus. If you can just hang on through the pain, I can pull you back out of Cannon. But you have to be strong, baby, because this is gonna hurt. Stay with me, baby. You're almost there. Cannon. Oh my God. I've got to put a stop to this. Taurus. Taurus, speak to me. Taurus died in that beam, lady, and that was better than he deserved. He killed a lot of people, including some of my friends. Ah, the prisoner returns. Not bad. Not bad at all. I might have to take you seriously. Yeah? Let me save you the trouble. Tisk, 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 tisk. It's a little too many tisks. No! Your toys are useless on me. Right. But it bought me just enough time. Get away from that machine. You will pay for... You first! You deserve to die for what you did to my son. How's it feel? How's it feel to know death has arrived? I wouldn't know. Yeah! Cannon, go! You're going nowhere! No. Taurus, I've killed you. We'd better get going. Oh, my son. My beloved son. Aye! Wow. Uh-oh. Run! Quite a record-breaking dive we took if you think about it. Sorry, believe it or not, I was once in the Olympics. Cannon, you okay? I'm alright. Just a bit stretched thin is all. Yeah, I know the feeling. And besides, I just got back from vacation. I guess I needed a little excitement after all. Sorry you were dragged into this, and thanks for coming to get me. I owe you one. Anytime. Right. Ripped apart. Combined with someone else. Ripped back apart. Put back together. I'm exhausted. Just exhausted. That's all. Released in late 2001, Fathom 1/2 was a tale of fathers and sons set in the years of World War II. Wow. And the birth of the atomic age amongst the human world. Michael's own father was diagnosed with terminal lung cancer while Michael was still under treatment for his own chondrosarcoma. Wow. Michael moved his father in with him and they shared their treatment experiences together. Michael and his brother cared for their father until he passed away. Michael then began work on this story, and though at the time his own recovery was not complete, it marked his return to the drawing table. Man, that's incredible to hear that they were both going through such a horrifying experience together, and his father passed, but Michael pushed through, and he still was able to make all these great comics, you know. I feel like Aspen's kind of not really talked about much, you know. We have Marvel and DC, and of course you have Boom and Image and IDW and all these other labels. And of course, we don't really talk about Aspen that much, and Aspen has a real legacy to it. Fathom 1/2. Fathom trading card set. Canon. Michael Turner and Peter Steigerwald. Okay, it was 1944, deep in the Norwegian winter. The world had grown familiar with terms like fascism and ethnic cleansing. To fulfill his megalomaniacal vision of world domination, Hitler decided that the Nazi Party would win the race for nuclear weapons. With this said, his Nazi army pillaged neighboring countries for the elements necessary to construct pure annihilation. Only miles from the pristine icy Lake Tin, the Norwegian Norse plant resided and steadfastly developed heavy water, the key compound for moderating nuclear reactions. On this day, a shipment of heavy water was scheduled to move on the heavily guarded hydro ferry. Then by train from Norway to Germany, Allies and revolutionaries had suffered several failed attempts at destroying the plant and the compound's transport. This history was written. History is not something we learn from books or sculptures or media. History is perception, not truth. As I thought about my history, the past that haunted me and would potentially threaten the rest of the world, I questioned my perception. The more I pondered, the more desperate I became to find the truth. I was finally ready to challenge my history and all who wrote it and take the pen into my own hand. As I waited, the Hydro and its convoy crawled across the icy waters, unaware of the ambition and the silent being before it. My entire body pulsed with determination that was so pure that it walked a thin line between passion and rage. I was frustrated with the carelessness, ignorance, and weakness that I saw in others. Ignorance so wild that it inhibited judgment on the most basic issues of right and wrong. Anger is a compelling emotion. It can push people to committing treacherous crimes. But even at that moment, and when I watched my fate approach, so convinced of what was right, there was something inside me that said I would not find peace from my past through this act of intervention. It was as though at any moment, if I stopped to listen to the quiet, the anger would disappear, and with it, my will. The will that I had always depended upon, even as a child. The first sign that I was my father's son bared itself when I was only a young boy. At the age when I was still the very center of my own universe, unable to comprehend imperfections in the concept of balance. It would be 10 years before my rights in the city of Tirlin would come to fruition and I could potentially provide for my mother. Until then, she had been forced to raise me alone. We would spend days together, practicing playfully the powers that course through our elite lineage. She educated me on the basic principles of water manipulation and encouraged me to experiment with my abilities whenever I chose. I am sure now she would have been more restrictive if she had known the strength of my reckless power. One day, when I was forming loose water sculptures in our home, one of the figures took on a life of its own. It surged with an energy I had never seen before. It was alive. As it grew larger, I knew I should have tried to slow it down, but it was my creation and I couldn't bear to kill it. I was foolishly mesmerized by its beauty. I didn't understand the weight of what I had created until it had expanded to twice my size. I had distilled water and created a volatile explosion. Traumatized by the experience, my mother spoke about my father, words she had never volunteered before. "Valen," she said, "your father was a curious man, a brilliant man who set no personal boundaries for creation or discovery. He would lock himself in his laboratory for days, experimenting with different elements. He was a dreamer, a seeker, and a designer, only limited by his imagination. Valen, I see your father in you. I see his talent and dreams, but I also see his carelessness. Be aware of your legacy." Those words echoed in my conscience. I vowed to silence everything inside me that she likened to my father, but as a mere child I was not yet ready to face my fate. It wasn't until that moment in the cold Norwegian water when I found my certainty. And blind passion, just as my reckless father. His gifts were also his demons. His drive to push the limits of nature forced him into carelessness. When he was experimenting with new energy sources for our city, he found an element that seemed as boundless as his own talent. He became obsessed with his new discovery, and it possessed him in turn. He was the first to discover nuclear fission in the compound they now call heavy water. My father's dedication to discovery was pure. This is what drove him. Assisting the progress of Tyrolin was initially his goal, but quickly became peripheral. When testing the compound, he saw its potential as the cleanest form of energy our world had ever seen. The dreamer disregarded the danger of such energy and continued pushing it to new heights, heights that could never be achieved safely. The water, angry and violated, seeped from the laboratory like a viper and poisoned our great city. Thousands of our people suffered radiation sickness and hundreds died. The elite council tried him as a brother because of the elite blood that ran through his veins. But this devastating incident only solidified rumors about his carelessness and lunacy, and the council's hand fell heavy upon his shoulders. They feared the possibility of further catastrophe. They punished him in the most disgraceful fashion. His family's name was to be dishonored. This was too much for him to bear. And the moment I saw my father's creation sitting before me in the hydro, still haunting the world, I saw him entering his laboratory for the last time, filled with a selfish determination to destroy his world and himself. Even then, he succeeded at only one of these tasks. A dissident with hatred for the humans had retrieved my father's notes from the ashes and patiently translated them over decades. He delivered the notes to the humans, hoping to forward their passion for genocide and lead them towards extinction. Past and present coiled in that moment of truth. I saw through his eyes and he looked through mine, though I had the disadvantage of knowing his future. I was at peace with the thought that I would now be taking the same death as my father, and our curse of blind creation would end with me. I was ready to take the final journey, but it wasn't my time. Like a phoenix reborn from the ashes, I was thrust back to life, infused with the power of the water itself. My molecules swam with the water and were re-energized, unburdened, and pure. I was given a second chance, and I understood. It was not for me to continue or end the cycle that my father began, but to challenge my fear of discovery and creation, and face the day that I too might become careless and lost, just as he had. So you see, my son, your grandfather's death was honorable. Since I was a child, I hated that man. I blamed him for forcing me to silence my creations, when in truth I was only afraid that I would one day grow to be as dangerous as he. Canon, I had to experience death to come to that conclusion. So much time wasted on selfish fear. You carry the same legacy as I have and will face even more tribulations. Be mindful of your abilities. You contain even more potential than your grandfather and I. I hope to be as honorable as you, Father. Son, look at me. I have lived a complete life, Canon, and you will have the same. Now it is my time. With honor, my son. With honor. With honor. The end. The cover gallery. Well. Fathom 0, cover B. So is this just going to be all the covers from the different books? There's going to be 300 pages of covers? That doesn't sound right, unless they've smashed 2 books together. Love these covers, though. Really good stuff. He knew how to draw women, didn't he? Simply gorgeous, but you know, there's actually a rough quality to the art, which I love because it's not like completely glossed and polished. You know, you can still kind of sense that raw nature to the art, and I kind of love that because it's authentic. Remember, a lot of this was drawn, even though this might have been mastered somewhat. You can still tell like the old school drawing, which to me never goes out of favor. I mean, I know a lot of people love digital art, and I do like AI art to some extent, but you just can't beat a pencil and paper or a pen and paper. It's just unreal what the human mind can do just by taking a pen and putting it on a piece of paper. It's like, this comes out. I mean, over time, but yeah, this comes out. Look at that. I like that. Powerful image right there. I like that too. A little basic, but I like it, and well enough. That's a cool one. I like that. $99. Like that one. My fan may rev up a little bit. It doesn't like when I scroll. I don't know why. Look at that. Remember this crazy guy? Yeah. I like that. Looks like she's got a little bit of muscle on her. That's good. Yeah, I mean, she's gorgeous. A lot of these incel guys would be like, that's what I want. Well, I mean, sir, that's on the page, you know. It's, yeah, I mean, VR or whatever. I just think it looks really good. Just nice art, you know. Of course, there's a couple women. But you know what? VR hits. That's what I want. Yeah, I can see that too. Yep, that's what I say to do to that flag. Not very fond of that one. Okay. Now this is just going to be an advertisement. Get your Aspen comics. Digital comics. Hey, let's go ahead and promote Aspen. Available now for download. Aspen Splash, Broken Pieces, Bubble Gun, Kara's Magic, which is really good. I don't think I want to read it here, but I did like it. Yeah, I mean, if anybody requests, oh, could you please read it? I'll think about it. Damsels in Excess, Dead Man's Run, Delic, Executive Assistant. I would like to read that. Assassins, all new Executive Assistant, maybe later. All new Fathom, perhaps. I don't want to go too new with them, because I do want to let their newer stuff kind of shine. I don't want to just, oh, this is brand new. Like, I don't want to do that. Fathom, Kiani, probably not. That's super new. The 4 Points, Homecoming, Idolize, Journey. We probably would do Journey. Legend of the Shadow Clan, Lola. I would definitely like to do Lola XOXO. Minefield, Overtaken. The Scourge, Overtaken. Psycho Bonkers, Shahrazad? Oh man. Y'all are gonna make me do that one just so I have to pronounce that every time. Shrugged. All new Soulfire. Trish Out of Water. The Zoo Hunters. Sketchbooks, collected editions, and more. And remember, 2015 Aspen. All rights and other trademarks are property of the respective owners. And you can read them on the go, on your phone. By the way, Yak Reader just released an Android version. If you got an Android phone like me, that's what I'm reading this on. Not my phone, but my computer. But now there's a version of this on the Android. And if you like all the features and stuff that I have here, they probably work on the Android. It was only like $5. So if you say, man, I got to have more Aspen now. I can't wait, Grim. You got to give me more now. Then you can pick them up. And they're probably not going to be that expensive. And don't forget, they do have humble bundles and things like that. Haven't had one in a little bit, but if they do have another one, definitely go pick them up there. Of course, now Humble's working with Volt right now, but they're always doing different comics. So definitely go and pick up the books that you think are to your taste. Obviously. Okay. Volume 2, collected. It looks like this just has the first 2 volumes of this omnibus. So that means that the second one would have the second 2 volumes. I've got up to 7 or 8, which I think is all the originals. So when we run out, we'll just do the volumes. Okay, we're on volume 2. Wow, all that was volume 1? Now we're on Michael Turner's Fathom Beginnings. Art's a little more crisp here. This is her as a young girl, I guess. Volume 2, Beginnings. J.T. Kroll and Michael Turner. Got 2 people writing the story now. Coy Turnbull's doing the penciling. Jason Gorder inks. Christina Strain is doing the colors. And Dreamer Design is the lettering. So they got a lettering group or something. Now these are 2011. The digital copy is 2011. So it's about 22 years old. I think that's fair. Let's see. No. It's not 22 years old. 2011. About 12 years old. It's over a decade. Again, we don't want to go too far into the new stuff. Definitely not anything 2020. That's one kind of rule I'm gonna try to push, is not to do stuff like released in 2020, because I do want the current comic writers out there to make some money. I'm not here just to give you free pirated comics. No, I'm not that guy. I'm not even there to give you that. I'm not even here to here's pirate. No, I'm here to show you the stories of these classic comics and give you some entertainment. That's pretty much what it is. Just entertainment and promotion. It's always promotion. If you like the stuff, buy the stuff. I did. Now I couldn't in the Chaos case because a lot of that stuff, like, it's just been gone to the, I mean, it's literally thrown to the heavens. Some of it still exists in some form or another, but a lot of it is out of print and probably will never be printed again, and that's how it is. But stuff like this, yeah, it still exists. There's digital copies. You can get them all day long, and you can check out all their pages. Obviously, they got a lot of pages. Check them out. Buy the books. And I even gave you an app that you can use to read them on your phone or your mobile device or your Steam Deck or whatever the hell. I mean, you don't always want to play games on it, right? Sometimes you want to read comics. So if you do, there you go. Anyway, Michael Turner's Fathom will begin next week, I think. Yeah. Because we just ran into the hour, or 2:00 rather. You know what? Since we did the covers, I'll do a little more. How about that? Let's do a little more. July 1984. I don't know about you, but my eyes are still messed up from that bright flash of light. I heard the ship's director say that it could have been a burst of flash lightning from some extremely low-lying clouds. There weren't any clouds. The skies have been clear all day. We all saw the military jets buzzing by us just before the flash. You can't tell me it didn't have something to do with what happened. Wouldn't surprise me if we all had radiation poisoning by now. All I know is ever since it happened, I feel a bit queasy, like things just ain't the same. Yeah, looks like something's going on. I'm really sorry to trouble you like this, but my captain is surrounded by a mob of overzealous passengers right now, and given what has happened, I figured you were the person to find. It comes with a uniform. Don't worry about it. I just hope I can help. Me too, sir. For her sake. I don't understand. Neither do I. We checked the manifest and all the underage passengers have been accounted for. Stowaway? Not likely. We do routine sweeps of the ship once we leave any port. I conducted the search myself after we left Puerto Vallarta. There we go. Puerto Vallarta. Somebody that lives there is going to get upset at me. I live in Puerto Vallarta. You better get it right, damn it. Well, I'm trying to get it right. Where did you find her? That's the strange part. She was in the water with no clothes on. My name is Captain Matthews. What is your name? I'm afraid she hasn't said a word since we found her, sir. English, Spanish, or otherwise. It's okay. I'm not going to hurt you. Rogers, go back to my... Hold on, we're going to try that one again. Rogers, go to my cabin. In the black duffel, there is a red dress that I picked up for my niece. Let's see if we can't make her feel a bit more comfortable. Hi there. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? That day on the ship seems like a lifetime ago. How's it going in there? It was my first memory. My life began there. I was born, 11 years old. When I close my eyes, all I see is what I tried to forget. I grew up one of the... Let's try that one again. I grew up one of the blue, a race of beings from the depths of the ocean. At least I did until the day my parents died at the hands of one of their own. Killian. If it wasn't for the sudden manifestation of my powers, my brother and I probably would have been next. We tried to escape, but Killian was not easily deterred, a fact I would later learn all over again. The last thing I remember before finding myself aboard the Paradise was the look on my brother's face when the light hit. Everything went screwy. I could still see him awash in the white light, but it was as if he was miles away from me. I was okay, but I could see the anguish in his eyes and hear it in his screams, and the next moment he was gone and I was lost. No! My name is Aspen. My name is Aspen. It's okay, Aspen. It's okay. I won't let anything happen to you, Aspen. You hear me? I won't let anything happen to you. And running from Killian, I was freed from the burden of my past and given a fresh start, a new life, a new world, a new father. I don't regret remembering what happened to me, but I cannot help feeling envious of that little girl on the ship and the life she could have led. The beginning. Michael Turner's Fathom, number 0. Yeah, we can do a little more. Why not? Like that armor she's wearing. Wow, that water looks really lifelike, doesn't it? Volume 2, Issue 0. J.T. Kroll wrote the whole story this time. Coy Turnbull, Jason Gorder, okay, the same people. It was just another training exercise for the latest recruits for our security force. One of our premier mentors, Cass, took them above the surface to a remote location called Shepherd's Field. It had served us well in the past. Apparently this time it was not remote enough. This is the work of an American named Maylander, but these are not the wounds of battle. These are the markings of torment. After being subdued by force, they were transported to a mountain base for experimentation. All of them, including Kask. And while we were able to rescue many of the soldiers, Kask was not as lucky. He was freed from one captor only to fall into the hands of another, Marquises, the very man who led the rescue mission and who obviously had an agenda of his own. See Fathom, Dawn of War trade paperback for more details. Oof, don't think we have that one, and don't know if it's covered. Kiani continued after him, following her heart and leaving me to care for the rest. Duty often means putting your heart aside in order to do what is best, bearing your concern for missing comrades and ignoring the rage that builds inside in order to focus on the task at hand, their immediate survival. Cannon! Chancellor. Thank you for helping us. These wounded were in no condition to make the journey all the way to the capital city. Forget about it. My city is your city. And don't call me Chancellor. Such formality was never my style. I mean, unless you'd rather me call you Elite Commander of Council Defense. No, that's okay, Thalassar. How are they? They're alive, which is more than can be said for some of their fellow soldiers. What happened, Cannon? Saba. But what would the humans want with them? I can't be sure, but by the look of things, I'd say they were using them to study us. And not in an observational capacity. That can't be good. Are you worried? Yes, we should all be worried. Nobody wants to see a war. Then let us hope it does not come to that. Yes, let us hope. San Diego, Naval Base. Chance, you've made some brilliant decisions in your life, but this one takes the cake. You're such an idiot. You were long gone from this crazy mess, sipping Mai Tais in Bora Bora, and now... Chance, the Admiral will see you. Good, let's get this over with. Yes, sir. Sit down, Chance. We'll be putting out to sea next week, and I wanted to tell you myself that you'd be staying here to take care of this new batch of pilots arriving. We need them trained for new hybrid fighters. Those birds are still in the experimental phase, and I don't want any flyboys crashing them because they can't handle the technology. Understood. I'm counting on you, Chance. Dismissed. That's right, taking orders from Captain Ahab himself as he hunts for his great whale. All this for a girl. Granted, it's not every day you come across someone like Aspen. A stowaway on a cruise ship when she was just a little girl. Aspen had no memory of who she was or where she came from. A naval officer who was on the ship at the time, Captain Matthews, adopted her and raised her in San Diego. Weird, but that ain't the half of it. It turns out Aspen isn't even human. She's from a race of people called the Blue that live on the bottom of the ocean, the same people that Maylander is hell-bent on exterminating. Sounds crazy, but seeing is believing. In the ocean is where I met her. Then I got caught up with Aspen and the other Blue during that whole Blue Sun fiasco. Still trying to sort out all the freaky stuff I saw. If you ask me, but nobody ever does, Maylander's got the wrong idea about them. The Blue aren't looking to come up here and start trouble. Well, that one named Killian wanted to, but Aspen took care of him. Maybe it was stupid to think coming back to this life could help me find Aspen, but I would do damn near anything again. I would damn near do anything just to see her again. I just hope that I find her before this fleet does. Ever since we arrived here in Saba, Brand and I have been keeping our eyes on the distant sea. Each ship that comes in carries with it a trace of hope. Hope that it will be the one to bring her back to us. Kiani! I knew you'd be okay. I just knew it. Not that we had any doubts. Well, Brand did. What happened? Did you find him? She doesn't say anything. She doesn't have to. I've known her long enough to read the expression on her face. Kask is gone. I take it from your silence since you returned that things do not go well. I'm sorry, Kiani. Marquises is not your average useless councilman. He's a lot tougher than he looks. You shouldn't be so hard on yourself. Marquises is dead. Kask dealt with him. using the power of his true form, that of the Black. You knew? Not quite. I suspected. Where is he now? Oh, well, let me try that again. I didn't capture that right. You knew? Not quite, I suspected. Where is he now? After his transformation, other blacks surfaced. We'll try that again. After his transformation, other blacks surfaced. He went with them, returning to the depths of the sea. These black you saw, were they the same ones that kidnapped Aspen? Is that all you care about? If I hadn't been chasing after the supposed savior when Maylander ambushed my comrades, I could have helped Cass protect them. Instead, he's gone, and I'm sitting here watching these men battle for their lives. If Aspen is as powerful as you say, then she should be able to take care of herself. How thin can we stretch our resolve and still have any chance of surviving the conflict that is coming our way? This Maylander is more brazen now than ever. Who knows what he may truly be capable of unleashing? And if the Black are once again among us, will our conflict with the humans be nothing more than a petty squabble compared to what they have in store? The darkness within me grows, but I do not know if it is merely the whispers in my head plaguing me, or a deeper realization that our end draws near. To be continued. And now we've got number 1 of 11. So, this is where Volume 2 truly starts, and it is a good place to leave off. I'll give you the cover, but after that, it'll be next week or next month or something like that. I'll keep you guys up to date with Fathom. By the way, thanks for requesting this. I had a viewer request more Fathom. All you got to do is just comment and say you want more of this, that, or the other, and I'll try to do my best to give you something. You know, that's why I had to split it. I did like 27 here, and I think maybe this is a little bit more than 30. But you guys definitely got your Fathom. And you'll get whatever you ask for. I'm a little out of sorts because I'm still kind of tired, but I'm going to bed early. It's still fairly early where I'm at, especially by my standards. So, I'm going to head out and... Oh, we have a couple more covers, I guess, we can look at. Let's look at those real quick. Oh, nope, that's it. Okay. So this is the Grim Lord, and I'm out. And I'll see you next time on Grim's Comics Corner when we do some more Fathom.